हेलो बच्चों, वेलकम टू डिस्नी क्लासेस। डिस्नी क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है। सारे बच्चे लोग जीवन में हमेशा मुस्कुराते रहिए और जीवन में आगे बढ़ते रहिए। सो आज हम लोग टुडे सेशन में नीट के सिलेबस को देखेंगे। एंड जैसा कि हमारा लक्ष्य रहता है कि पहले सिलेबस को जानें, फिर उसके बाद पीवाईक्यू को जानें और फिर उसके बाद मॉडल क्वेश्चन को जानें। सो यानी कि 3 स्टेप है टू क्वालिफाई इन एग्जाम: syllabus, PYQ, model paper. With this strategy, you can qualify any exam in your life. दुनिया में कोई भी एग्जाम हो, जस्ट 3 स्टेप: सिलेबस, PYQ, मॉडल पेपर। चाहे यूनिवर्सिटी का पेपर लिखोगे, चाहे IAS का पेपर लिखोगे, चाहे एनी पेपर यू विल राइट, यू हैव टू फॉलो these 3 स्टेप्स। सो स्टूडेंट, NTA रिलीज करता है आपका सिलेबस को, एंड सिलेबस ऑफ नीट 2025 आपको कवर करने हैं। हर एक पॉइंट को जानिए और हर एक पॉइंट को आप लोग को समझना है और ईच पॉइंट को समझते हुए प्रैक्टिस करना है। सिलेबस फॉर एग्जामिनेशन नीट UG अंडर ग्रेजुएट 2025। सो प्यारे बच्चे लोग, जीवन में मेहनत करो। मेहनत एक दिन आपको सफलता की सीढ़ी पे ले जाती है। सो स्टार्ट वर्किंग योर सेल्फ, अपने पेरेंट का नाम रोशन करिए और सफलता की सीढ़ी चढ़िए। सो सबसे पहले हम लोग सिलेबस फॉर नीट UG 2025 में फिजिक्स का सिलेबस देखेंगे। अब फिजिक्स का जो पहला यूनिट है बच्चों, यूनिट एंड मेजरमेंट। सो यूनिट 1 यूनिट एंड मेजरमेंट, जो पहला पॉइंट है, यूनिट्स ऑफ मेजरमेंट, सिस्टम ऑफ यूनिट। मतलब कि हम लोग जिस तरीके से मेजर करते हैं, लेंथ, टेम्परेचर, थीटा, तो जिस तरीके से हम लोग को वो सब आपको पढ़ना है, ठीक है। ऐसा यूनिट फंडामेंटल एंड डिराइव्ड यूनिट। टेम्परेचर, लिस्ट काउंट, सिग्निफिकेंट फिगर, एरर इन मेजरमेंट, डायमेंशन ऑफ फिजिक्स क्वांटिटीज, डायमेंशनल एनालिसिस, MLT जो हम लोग पढ़ते हैं, सीखते हैं, एंड इट्स एप्लीकेशन। तो ये आपका यूनिट 1 का पोर्शन हो गया। नेक्स्ट जो है बच्चों, यूनिट 2 काइनेमेटिक्स। बहुत ही बेहतरीन चैप्टर है और बहुत ही आपको मज़ा लगेगा पढ़ के सीखने में। द फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस, किस फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस में आप लोग वर्क कर रहे हो, ट्रेन के फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस में या ऑब्जर्वर के फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस में। द फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस, मोशन इन अ स्ट्रेट लाइन, पोजिशन टाइम ग्राफ, स्पीड एंड वेलोसिटी, यूनिफॉर्म एंड नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन, एवरेज स्पीड एंड इंस्टेंटेनियस स्पीड, uniformly accelerated motion, velocity time, position time graph, relation for uniformly accelerated motion, scalars and vectors, addition and subtraction, scalar and vector product, unit vector, resolution of a vector, relative velocity, motion in a plane, projectile motion, uniform circular motion. This come under kinematics. नेक्स्ट बच्चों जो हम लोग को सीखना है वो है लॉ ऑफ मोशन। सो इन द लॉ ऑफ मोशन वी हैव टू स्टडी फोर्स एंड इनर्शिया, न्यूटन फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ मोशन, मोमेंटम, न्यूटन सेकेंड लॉ ऑफ मोशन, इम्पल्सेस, न्यूटन थर्ड लॉ ऑफ मोशन, लॉज ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ लिनियर मोमेंटम एंड इट्स एप्लीकेशन, इक्विलिब्रियम of concurrent forces, static and kinematic friction, laws of friction, rolling friction, ठीक है। स्टैटिक फ्रिक्शन, रोटेशनल फ्रिक्शन, काइनेमेटिक, रोलिंग, सब कुछ आपको पढ़ना है। डायनेमिक्स ऑफ यूनिफॉर्म सर्कुलर मोशन, सेंट्रीपेटल फोर्स एंड इट्स एप्लीकेशन, व्हीकल ऑन लेवल सर्कुलर रोड, व्हीकल ऑन बैंक्ड रोड, ठीक है। सो दिस कम अंडर यूनिट 3. In the unit 4 we have to study work power, energy, work energy and power, work done by a constant force of and variable force, kinetic and potential energy, work energy, theorem power सीखने हैं। सबसे पहले आपको क्या करना है, कॉपी में हर एक 2 से 3 बार 5 बार, जब तक कि पूरा सिलेबस आपके पॉइंट मन में ना आ जाए, लिखते रहने हैं। यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस एनी हाउ वेरी हाई। जितना ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस करोगे प्यारे बच्चे लोग, तभी आपको सफलता मिलने वाली है। देयर इज़ नॉट शॉर्टकट, देयर इज़ नो लाइक यू विल जस्ट गेट फ्री केक। सो कोई भी फ्री लंच आपको नहीं मिलेगा। सो आपको क्या करना है, मेहनत करते रहना है, ठीक है। सो विद like you will continuous effort, one day you will get the taste of success. So that's the true scenario. The potential energy of a spring, conservation of mechanical energy, conservative and non-conservative forces, motion in a vertical line, elastic and inelastic, collision in 1 and 2 dimension. In the unit 5, rotational motion, center of mass of two particle system, center of mass of rigid body, basic concept of rotational motion, moment of a force, torque, angular momentum, conservation of angular momentum and its application, the moment of inertia, the radius of gyration, values of moment of inertia for simple geometrical object, parallel and perpendicular axis theorem and their applications, equilibrium of rigid body rotational and equation of rotational motion, comparison of linear and rotational motions, gravitation, the universal law of gravitation, acceleration due to gravity and its variation with altitude and depth, Kepler law of planetary motion। ठीक है, 3 लॉज पढ़ने हैं आपको। ग्रेविटेशनल पोटेंशियल एनर्जी, ग्रेविटेशनल पोटेंशियल एस्केप वेलोसिटी, किस वेलोसिटी से एस्केप करेगा, ठीक है, 11.8 किलोमीटर पर सेकेंड। मोशन ऑफ अ स्टेट सैटेलाइट, ऑर्बिटल वेलोसिटी, टाइम पीरियड, एनर्जी ऑफ सैटेलाइट। In the unit 7, properties of solid and liquid, you have to study elastic behavior, stress strain relationship, Hooke's law, Young's modulus, bulk modulus, modulus of rigidity, pressure due to fluid column, Pascal law and its application, effect of gravity on fluid pressure, viscosity, Stokes law, terminal velocity, streamline and turbulent flow, critical velocity, Bernoulli principle and its application, surface energy and surface tension, angle of contact, excess of pressure across a curved surface, application of surface tension, drops, bubbles and capillary light, heat, temperature and thermal expansion, specific heat capacity, calorimetry, change of a state, latent heat, heat transfer, conduction, convection and radiation. So all things you have to study, student. You will study, then you will realize the depth of the knowledge. So study, work hard and get more. In the thermodynamics, you have to know, you have to learn thermal equilibrium, ZLOT, zeroth law of thermodynamics, FLOT, first law of thermodynamics, SLOT, second law, ZLOT, heat, work and internal energy, the first law of thermodynamics, isothermal, adiabatic process, the second law of thermodynamics, reversible and irreversible process. Kinetic theory of gases, equation of a state of a perfect gas, work done on compressing a gas, kinetic theory of gases, assumption, the concept of pressure, kinetic interpretation of temperature, RMS speed of gas, molecules, degree of freedom, law of equipartition of energy and application to a specific heat capacity of gases, mean free path, Avogadro number. Unit 10, we have to study oscillation and waves. Oscillation and periodic motion. Time period, frequency, displacement as a function of time, period functions, simple harmonic motion and its equation, phase, oscillation of a spring, restoring force, force constant, energy in SHM, kinetic and potential energy, simple pendulum deviation, derivation of expression for its time period. Wave motion, longitudinal and transverse waves, the speed of traveling waves, displacement relation for progressive wave, principle of superposition of waves, reflection of waves, standing waves in string and organ pipes, fundamental mode and harmonic beats. So learn student, and you can practice. Electrostatic, electric charges, conservation of charge, Coulomb's law, forces between 2-point charges, forces between multiple charges, superposition, principal and continuous charge distribution, electric field due to point charge, electric field lines, dipole, electric field due to dipole, torque on a dipole in a uniform, electric field, electric flux, Gauss law and its application to find field due to infinitely long uniformly charged straight wire, uniformly charged infinite plane sheet, and uniformly charged thin spherical shell. Electric potential and its calculation for point charge, electric dipole and system of charges, potential difference, equipotential surfaces, electrical potential energy of a system or a two-point charges, electric dipole in an electrostatic field. Conductors and insulators, dielectrics and electric polarization, capacitors and capacitance, the combination of capacitors in series and parallel, capacitance of a parallel plate, capacitor with and without dielectric medium, between plate, energy stored in a capacitor, current, electricity, electric current, drift, velocity, mobility and their relation with electric current, Ohm's law, electrical resistance. So just write the syllabus and keep practice, you will get good confidence. Electrical resistance, voltage, current characteristics, ohmic and non-ohmic conductor, electrical energy and power, electrical resistivity and conductivity, series and parallel combination of resistors, temperature dependence of resistance, internal resistance, potential difference and EMF of cell, a combination of cell in series and parallel, Kirchhoff's law and their application, Wheatstone bridge, meter bridge. So all the parameter you have to study, you have to learn, you have to know, and you have to work on it. The more you will know, the more you will work, the more you will get. So you have to study, you have to work. एंड डेस्टिनी परिवार में आपको पूछना है क्या क्या आपको, यू हैव टू डाउट, यू हैव टू डिस्कस ऑल योर पॉइंट्स. In Unit 13, magnetic effect of current and magnetism, Biot-Savart law and its application to current carrying, circular loop, Ampere's law and its application to infinitely long current carrying, straight wire and solenoid, force on a moving charge in uniform magnetic and electric field, force on current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field, the force between two parallel current carrying conductors, definition of ampere, torque experienced by current loop in a uniform magnetic field, moving coil galvanometer, insensitivity and conversion to ammeter and voltmeter, current loop as a magnetic dipole and its magnetic dipole moment, war magnet as an equivalent solenoid, magnetic field lines. Magnetic field due to magnetic pole bar magnet along its axis, and perpendicular to its axis, torque on a magnetic poles on a uniform magnetic field. Paramagnetic, diamagnetic, ferromagnetic circumstances. So magnetic is hidden. With example, effect of temperature and magnetic property. So your student, you have to learn and you have to practice. More you will learn, more you will practice, more you will get the ideas. In the unit 14, you have to know electromagnetic induction and alternating currents. Electromagnetic induction, Faraday's law, induced EMF and current, Lenz law, eddy currents, self and mutual inductance, alternating currents, peak and RMS value of alternating current, voltage, reactance and impedance, LCR series, circuit resonance, power in AC circuit, wattless current, AC generator and transformers. In the unit 15, we have to study the electromagnetic waves, displacement current, electromagnetic current, waves and characteristics, transverse nature of electromagnetic waves, electromagnetic spectrum, radio wave, microwave, infrared, visual, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma ray, application of EMF waves. So many waves you have to know. And the next unit is optics, very complex and amazing topic. You will enjoy. There are so many applications of optics daily using the lenses. So we have to know reflection of light, a spherical mirror, mirror formula, refraction of light at plane and spherical surfaces, thin lens formula and lens maker formula, total internal reflection and its applications, magnification, power of lens, combination of thin lenses in contact, refraction of light through a prism, microscope and astronomical telescope, reflecting and refracting and their magnifying powers. Wave optics. We have to understand wave front, Huygens principle, law of reflection and refraction using Huygens principle, interference, double slit experiment, electron is wave working, yeah, electron is particle, yeah, both. An expression for single bit coherent sources and sustained interference of light, diffraction due to single slit and bit of central maximum polarization, plane polarized light, Brewster's law, use of the plane polarized light and polarized. So study more, you will feel like more confidence. बढ़ते जाइए, सीखते जाइए और आगे बढ़ते जाइए. There is no other way to escape. If you have to qualify, you have to know the syllabus. So read, learn and again read, reread. Okay, student. Unit 17, dual nature, matter and radiation, dual nature of radiation, photoelectric effect, Hertz and Lenard observation, Einstein photoelectric equation, particle nature of light, matter wave, wave nature of particle, de Broglie relation, atom and nuclei, alpha particle scattering experiment, Rutherford model of atom, Bohr model, energy level, hydrogen spectrum, composition and size of nucleus, atomic masses, mass energy relation, mass defect, binding energy per nucleon and its variation with mass number, nuclear fission and fusion, electronic devices, semiconductors, diode, current potential, characteristics in forward and reverse bias, Diode as a rectifier. Current potential characteristics of late at emitting diode. The photodiode, solar cell, Zener diode. Zener diode as a voltage regulator, logic gates, OR and NOT, NAND and NOR. Experimental skill, familiarity with the basic approach and observation of the experiments and activities. So these are the experimental. Vernier caliper, its use measure the, like how much the accuracy we can measure it. Measure the internal and external diameter of the vessel. A screw gauge, it's used to determine thickness, diameter of thin sheet wire. Simple pendulum, dissipation of energy by plotting a graph between the square of amplitude and time. Meter scale, the mass of a given object by principle of moments. Young modulus of elasticity of the material of a metallic wire. Surface tension of water by capillary rise and effects of detergent. Coefficient of viscosity of a given viscous liquid by measuring terminal velocity of a spherical body. A speed of sound in an air at room temperature using resonance tube. A specific heat capacity of a given solid liquid by method of mixtures. The resistivity of material of a given wire using meter bridge. The resistance of a given wire using Ohm's law. Resistance and figure of merit of a galvanometer by half deflection method. The focal length of convex mirror, concave mirror and convex lens using the parallax method. The plot of angle of deviation versus angle of incidence for a triangular prism. Refractive index of a glass slab using traveling microscope. Characteristics using a PN junction diode in forward and reverse bias. Characteristics of curve of a Zener diode and finding reverse breakdown voltage. Identification of diode, lead, resistor, or capacitors from a mixed collection of such items. So this come the end of the physics syllabus. Now we have to see the chemistry and then biology. So you have to understand, read, write and understand. Work, read, learn and crack the NEET exam. Easily will crack, your parent will feel happy, your life will become boom, enjoy. So physical chemistry, some basic concept of chemistry. First, matter and its nature. मैटर क्या होता है, उसके नेचर क्या है. डाल्टन एटॉमिक थ्योरी. कंसेप्ट ऑफ एटम, मॉलिक्यूल, एलिमेंट एंड कंपाउंड, लॉज ऑफ केमिकल कॉम्बिनेशन, एटॉमिक एंड मॉलिक्यूल्स, लर्ज फॉर मासेस, मोल कंसेप्ट. तो कल से मैं 2 PM में लेक्चर आपको हर एक पॉइंट वाइज मिल जाएगा. जेई मेन, नीट, एडवांस सारे का एक साथ आपको लेक्चर मिलेगा जिसमें आप लोग हर एक चीज़ का प्रिपरेशन करेंगे. ठीक है प्यारे, चलो. So just scale up with your knowledge and destiny classes will help you to learn infinite. Mole concept, molar mass, percentage, composition, empirical and molecular formula, chemical equation and stoichiometry. Unit to atomic structure, nature of electromagnetic radiation, photoelectric effect, spectrum of the hydrogen atom, बोर्स मॉडल ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एटम, इट्स पोस्टुलेट. क्या पोस्टुलेट है भैया, ठीक है. सो एटम क्या रहता है, फिक्स्ड ऑर्बिट में ही मूव करेगा, एनर्जी नहीं लॉस करेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन, ना ही वो अपना इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन करता है. डेविएशन ऑफ द रिलेशन ऑफ द एनर्जी ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन and radii of the different orbits, limitation of Bohr's model, dual nature of matters, de Broglie relation, lambda equal to h upon mvp, हाइजेनबर्ग अनसर्टेनिटी रिलेशन टू डेल पी ग्रेटर देन h अपॉन 4 पाई। कभी पोजीशन और मोमेंटम एक साथ कैलकुलेट नहीं करोगे फॉर सब एटॉमिक पार्टिकल लाइक इलेक्ट्रॉन, प्रोटॉन, ठीक है। एलिमेंट्री आइडियाज ऑफ क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स। Quantum mechanics, the quantum mechanical model of the atom, its important feature concept of atomic orbitals as one electron wave function, variation of सही स्क्वायर होगा with r 1s 2s orbital, various quantum number, principal and angular momentum and magnetic quantum number and their significant shapes of s,p,d orbital, electron spin and spin quantum number, rules for filling electron in orbitals, above principle, Pauli exclusion principle and Horn's rule, electronic configuration of element, extra stability of half filled and completely filled orbitals, chemical bonding and molecular structure. Cauchy-Lewis approach to chemical bond formation, the concept of ionic and covalent bond, ionic bonding, formation of ionic bonds, factors affecting the formation of ionic bonds, calculation of lattice enthalpy. Okay student, so work करिए, मेहनत करिए, आपको सफलता मिलेगी। सफलता पाने के लिए आपको मेहनत करना जरूरी है। कीप वर्किंग इन साइलेंस, साइलेंस में वर्क करो। योर सक्सेस विल मेक नॉइज, लेट द नॉइज कम फ्रॉम योर सक्सेस। कोवैलेंट बॉन्डिंग, कंसेप्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी, फाइजन्स रूल, डाइपोल मोमेंट, वैलेंस शेल इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर रिपल्शन थ्योरी, शेप्स ऑफ सिंपल मोलेक्युल्स, क्वांटम मैकेनिकल अप्रोच to covalent bonding, valence and bond theory, its importance, feature, the concept of hybridization involving sp,d orbital, resonance molecular orbital theory, ठीक है। its important feature, तो आपको पढ़ाया जाएगा O2 का हाइब्रिडाइजेशन, मोलिकुल का हाइब्रिडाइजेशन कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं, कैसे वो जुड़ते हैं, कैसे फॉर्मुलेट करते हैं, बॉन्ड क्या बॉन्ड कितना वेरी करता है। Its important feature, linear combination of atomic orbital, types of molecular orbitals, bonding, anti-bonding, sigma and pi bonds, molecular orbital, electronic configuration of HOMO, nuclear diatomic molecules, the concept of bond order, bond length and bond energy, elementary ideas of metallic bonding, hydrogen bonding and its application, chemical thermodynamics, fundamental of thermodynamic system and surrounding, extensive and intensive properties, state function, types of process, FLOT, first law of thermodynamics, concept of work, heat, internal energy and enthalpy, heat capacity, molar heat capacity, His law of constant heat summation, enthalpies of bond dissociation, combustion, formation, atomization, sublimation, phase transition, hybridization, ionization and solution. So student, you have to work a lot, you have to read a lot, and I hope you will read, you will learn and you will crack the exam. SLOT, a spontaneity of process. The process which occurs naturally is called spontaneous. Release of inverse del G of the system as criteria for spontaneity. Del G standard gives free energy, usual full amount of energy, and equilibrium constant. So I will provide all the notes for each topic point and PYQ, all your doubts I will take. Solution, different method for expressing the concentration of solution, molarity, mole fraction, percentage by volume and mass, both the vapor pressure of solution and Raoult's law, ideal and non-ideal solution, vapor pressure, composition, plots for ideal non-ideal solution, colligative property of dilute solution, a relative loading of vapor pressure, depression of freezing point, the elevation of boiling point, and osmotic pressure, determination of molecular mass using colligative property of normal, value of molar mass Van't factor and its significance. Unit 6, you have to know equilibrium, meaning of equilibrium. Equilibrium होता क्या है, ठीक है. The concept of dynamic equilibrium. What is static, what is dynamic, ठीक है. Equilibrium involve the physical process, solid liquid, liquid gas, solid liquid equilibrium, ठीक है. पानी है, बर्फ बन रहा है, बर्फ है, वेपर बन रहा है, क्या इक्विलिब्रियम होगा. हेनरीज लॉ, जनरल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम involving physical process, equilibrium involving chemical process, law of chemical equilibrium, equilibrium constant kpkc equal to RT del N power, the significance of del G delta G naught in chemical equilibrium, factor affecting क्या क्या करेगा factor, concentration, pressure, temperature, the effect of catalyzed Leach-Terriel principle, किधर जाएगा equilibrium, left side, right side, सारा कुछ you have to learn. Ionic equilibrium, weak and strong electrolytes, ionization of electrolytes, various concepts of acid and bases, Arrhenius, Bronsted, Lowry and Lewis there. Ionization, acid-base equilibria, including multi-stage ionization and ionization constant, ionization of water, pH scale, common ion effect, hydrolysis of salt, pH of their solution, the solubility of sparingly soluble salt and solubility products, buffer solution, redox reaction and electrochemistry, electronic concept of oxidation and reduction, redox reaction, oxidation number, rules for assigning oxidation state, number of balancing redox reaction, electrolytic and metallic conduction, किस तरीके से कंडक्शन हो रहा है. In electrolytic solution, molar conductivity lambda m and their variation with the concentration, किस तरीके से concentration से varies कर रहा है. Coulom's law, infinite dilution पे क्या क्या changes होता है and its application, क्या क्या जगह पे यूज कर सकते हैं. हर एक चीज़ को application wise you have to understand. Electrochemical cell, electrolytic cell क्या होता है, इस तरीके से बैटरी वर्क करता है. Galvanic cell, just आपका केमिस्ट्री रिवर्स होगा. Different types of electrodes, electrode potential, including a standard electrode potential, half cell and cell potential, cell reaction, EMF of a galvanic cell and measurement, Nash equation and its application, relationship between cell potential and gives free energy, dry cell and lead accumulator fuel cell. So all point read write multiple times in your notebook and then you will gain the confidence. देखिए बच्चे लोग, जितना ज़्यादा आप सीखते जाते हो, पर्पज यही होता है यू हैव टू गेन द कॉन्फिडेंस. सिलेबस को एक बार जान जाओगे फिर कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा आपको. केमिकल काइनेटिक्स, rate of chemical reaction, factor affecting the rate of reaction, concentration, temperature, pressure, catalyst, elementary and complex reaction, order and molecularity of reactions, rate law, rate constant and its unit, differential and integral form of zero and first order reaction, their characteristics and half-lives, the effect of temperature on the rate of a reaction, Arrhenius theory, activation energy, कितना एनर्जी चाहिए to activate the reaction, to complete the reaction, and its calculation, collision theory of biomolecular gases, yes reaction, no deviation. ठीक है. जो नेक्स्ट टर्म है हमारा इनऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री, क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एलिमेंट्स एंड पीरियोडिसिटी प्रॉपर्टी, मॉडर्न पीरियोडिक लॉ एंड प्रेजेंट form of periodic table, SPDF, block element, periodic trends, in property of elements, atomic and ionic radii, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, valence oxidation state and chemical reactivity, P block element group 13 to 18. Started like aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon. General introduction, electronic configuration and general trends in physical and chemical properties of element across the periods and down the group. Unique behavior of the first element in each group. D and F block elements. Transition element. General introduction, electronic configuration, occurrence and characteristics, general trends in properties of first row element, transition element, physical property, ionization, enthalpy, oxidation states, atomic radii, color, catalytic behavior, magnetic property, complex formation, interstitial complexes, alloy formation, preparation, properties and usage of K2Cr2O7 and KMnO4, inner transition element, lanthanoid series, electronic configuration, oxidation state and lanthanoid contraction, actinoids, electronic configuration and oxidation state. Unit 12, coordination compound, you have to know, very important in inorganic chemistry. Introduction to coordination compound, Werner theory, ligand, coordination number, 10 TCT, chelation, IPC nomenclature, mononuclear, coordination compound, isomerism, bonding valence, bond approach and basic ideas of crystal field theory, color and magnetic property, importance of coordination compound in qualitative analysis, extraction of metals and in biological system. Organic chemistry, unit 13, purification and characteristics of organic compound, purification, crystallization, sublimation, distillation, differential extraction and chromatography principle and their application, qualitative analysis, detection of nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus and halogens, quantitative analysis, basis, principle only, estimation of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, halogen, sulfur, phosphorus, calculation of empirical formula, molecular formula, numerical problem in organic quantitative analysis you have to study. Unit 14, some basic principle of organic tetravalency, कार्बन को 4 बॉन्ड चाहिए भैया to complete the octet, 1s2 2s2 2p 0, 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन क्या करेगा, एक्सेप्ट करेगा to complete the octet. Tetravalency of carbon, shapes of simple molecules, hybridization S&P, classification of organic compounds based on functional group and those containing halogens, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur, homologous series, isomerism, structure and stereoisomerism, nomenclature, trivial and IPC, covalent and fission. In the covalent bond fission, homolytic and heterolytic, free radical, carbocation and carbanions, stability of carbocation and free radical, electrophiles and nucleophiles, electronic displacement in a covalent bond, inductive effect, electromeric, resonance and hyperconjugation, common type of organic reactions, substitution, addition, elimination and rearrangement, hydrocarbons, classification, isomerization, IUPAC nomenclature, general method of preparation, properties and reactions, alkanes, conformations, Shahos and Newman projection of ethanes, mechanism of halogenation of alkanes, alkenes, geometrical isomerism, mechanism of electrophilic addition, addition of hydrogen, halogen, water, hydrogen, halides, Markovnikov and peroxide effect, ozonolysis and polymerization, alkynes, acidic character, addition of hydrogen, halogen, water, hydrogen halides, polymerization, aromatic hydrocarbon, nomenclature, benzene, structure and aromaticity, mechanism of electrophilic substitution, halogenation, nitration, Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation, directive influence of the function group in monosubstituted benzene. मोनोसब्स्टिट्यूशन मतलब क्लोरोबेंजीन ब्रोमोबेंजीन एडोबेंजीन, ठीक है। मोनोसब्स्टिट्यूशन एक ही सब्स्टिट्यूशन लगा हुआ है, ठीक है। इन द यूनिट 16 we have to learn organic compound containing halogens, general method of preparation, properties and reaction, nature of CX bond, mechanism of substitution reaction, environmental effect of chloroform, iodoform, freons and DDT, organic compounds containing oxygen, general method of preparation, properties, reaction and uses. Alcohols, phenol and ethers, alcohol identification of primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol, mechanism of dehydration, phenol, acidic nature, electrophilic substitution reaction, halogenation reaction, nitration and sulfonation, Raman-Dimer reaction. Ether, aldehyde and ketones, nature of carbonyl group, nucleophilic addition, carbonyl group, relative reactives of aldehydes and ketones, importance reactions such as nucleophilic addition reaction, addition of HCN, ammonia and its derivative, Grignard reagent, oxidation reduction, Wolff-Kishner, Clemenson, the acidity of alpha hydrogen aldol condensation, Cannizzaro reaction, haloform reaction, chemical test of distinguish between aldehyde and ketones, carboxylic acid acidic strength and factor affecting it, unit 18, organic compounds and containing nitrogen, general method of preparation, properties, reaction and uses. Amines, nomenclature, classification, structure, basic character and identification of primary, secondary and tertiary amines and their basic character. Diazonium salt, importance of synthetic organic chemistry. Biomolecules, general introduction and importance of biomolecules, carbohydrates, classification, aldoses and ketoses, monosaccharide, glucose and fructose and constituent monosaccharide of oligosaccharide, sucrose, lactose and maltose. Proteins, elementary idea of alpha amino acid peptide bond, polypeptide, protein, primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure. Qualitative idea only, denature of proteins, enzymes, vitamins, classification of function, nucleic acid, chemical constituted DNA and RNA, biological functions of nucleic acid. Hormone, general introduction, principle related to practical chemistry, detection of extra element nitrogen and sulfur and halogen. Inorganic compound, detection of the following functional group: hydroxyl, alcohol and phenolic, carbonyl, aldehyde and ketones, carboxyl and amino group inorganic compounds. The chemistry involved in preparation of the following: inorganic compounds, more salt, potash alum, organic compounds, acetanilide, paranitro-acetanilide, aniline, yellow, iodoform. The chemistry involved in the tritrimeric exercises, acid base and the use of indicators, oxalic acid, caminophore, more salt versus caminophore. Chemical principle involved in the qualitative analysis. Cations, lead 2 plus, CO2 plus, aluminum 3 plus, iron 3 plus, zinc 2 plus, nickel 2 plus, calcium 2 plus, barium 2 plus, magnesium 2 plus, ammonium ion. Anions, CO2 minus, H2 minus, SO2 minus, NO3 minus, NO2 minus, Cl minus, Br minus, I minus. Insoluble salt excluded. Chemical principle involving in the following experiment: enthalpy of solution, copper sulfate, enthalpy of neutralization of a strong acid and a strong base, preparation of lyophilic and lyophilic salt, kinetic study of the reaction of ions with hydrogen peroxide at room temperature. So now the last and remaining point in the biology you have to know. So read, learn, again read, again learn. Okay, student. If it is not visible, you can make it high quality 720 and you can use it. So just download the PDF डाउनलोड कर लीजिए और उससे पढ़िए. जितना ज़्यादा आप पढ़िएगा उतना ज़्यादा आप सीखिएगा. PDF को डाउनलोड करिए, पढ़िए और लिखिए. You have to write biology unit 1 diversities in living world. What is living? कि living है क्या? The thing which responds the external stimuli. फिर के रिस्पॉन्स किया, क्या है? लिविंग है. ठीक. बायोडाइवर्सिटी, नीड फॉर क्लासिफिकेशन, टैक्सोनॉमी एंड सिस्टमैटिक कंसेप्ट ऑफ स्पेसीज एंड टैक्सोनॉमिकल हायरार्की बायनोमियल नोमेनक्लेचर, 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन, साइलेंट फीचर and classification of Monera, Proteaceae and fungi into major group, lichen, viruses, viroids. Silent feature of the classification of plants and major group, algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnoforms. 3 to 5 silent distinguished feature of at least 2 example of each category आप सीखने हैं. Silent features are classification of animal non-chordate up to phyla level and chordate up to classes level. ठीक है. 3 to 5 silent feature आपको सीखने हैं, at least 2 example. Structural organization of in animal and plants, morphology, modification, tissue, anatomy and function of different parts of flowering plants, root, stem, leaf, inflorescence, cymodes, racemose, flower, fruit and seed to be dealt along with the relevant practical and syllabus. Family Malaceae, Crucidae, Leguminosae, composite cremain. Animal tissue morphology, anatomy, function of different system, digestive, circulatory, respiratory, nervous and reproductive of an insect, frog. लोग चिट फाड़ करके आपको सिखा देंगे. ठीक है. ब्रीफ अकाउंट बन ली. नेक्स्ट इन द यूनिट 3rd, cell structure and function, cell theory entails cell as basic unit of life. Structure of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, plant cell, animal cell, cell envelope, cell membrane, cell wall, cell organelles. Structure and function, endomembrane system and endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, vacuoles, mitochondria, ribosomes, plastid, macrobody, cytokeraton, chelae, flagella, centrioles. Ultrastructure and function, nucleus, nuclear membrane, chromatin, nucleus, chemical constituent of living cell, biomolecules, structure and function of proteins, carbohydrate, lipid, nucleic acid, enzymes, types, properties, enzyme action, classification and nomenclature of enzyme, B cell division, cell type, meiosis and their significance. Plant physiology, photosynthesis as a means of autotrophic nutrition. Site of photosynthesis take place, pigments involved in photosynthesis, elementary idea, photochemical and biosynthetic phase of photosynthesis, cyclic and non-cyclic and photophosphorylation, chemogenetic hypothesis, photorespiration, C3 and C4 pathway, factor affecting photosynthesis. Respiration, exchange gases, cellular respiration, glycolysis, fermentation, anaerobic TCA cycle and electron transport system, aerobic enzyme relation, number of ATP molecule generated, amphibic pathway and respiratory quotient. Plant growth, development, seed germination, phase of plant growth and plant growth rates, condition of growth, differential and de-differentiation and redifferentiation, sequence of developmental process in a plant cell, growth regulator, auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, ethylene, away. Human physiology, breathing and respiration, respiratory organs in animals, recall only respiratory animals system of in humans. Mechanism of breathing and its regulation in human, exchange of gases, transport, gases, regulations of respiration, respiratory volumes, disorders related to respiration, asthma, emphysema, occupational respiratory disorder, body fluids and circulation, composition of blood group, coagulation of blood, ठीक है, जम जाएगा, composition of limbs and its function, human circulatory system, structure of human heart and blood vessel, cardiac cycle, cardiac output, ECG, तो आपको चेक करना है, इंसान को बचाना है ना, डबल सर्कुलेशन, रेगुलेशन ऑफ कार्डियक एक्टिविटी, डिसऑर्डर ऑफ सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम, हाइपरटेंशन, कोरोनरी आर्टरी डिजीज, ठीक है, जब भी आपका डिजीज है सबको प्रिवेंट करना है, बिकम द डॉक्टर एंड सेव द लाइफ. एंजिना पैक्टोरिसिस, हार्ट फेल्योर, ठीक है. एक्सक्रीटरी प्रोडक्ट एंड देयर एलिमिनेशन, मोड्स ऑफ एक्सक्रीटेशन, किस तरीके से बाहर जाता है, एमोनोटेलिज्म, इरिटेलिज्म, यूरिकोटेलिज्म, ह्यूमन एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम, स्ट्रक्चर एंड फंक्शन, यूरिन फॉर्मेशन, किस तरीके से यूरिन फॉर्म होता है, ऑस्मो रेगुलेशन, रेगुलेशन ऑफ किडनी फंक्शन, रेनिन, एंजियोटेंसिन, एट्रियल नाइट्रेटिक फैक्टर ADH and diabetic insipidus. Role of other organ in excretion disorder, uremia, renal failure, renal calculi, nephritis, dialysis and artificial kidney. So like artificial things going on, so you have to know. Locomotion and movement, types of movement, ciliary, pinnular, muscle skeletal, muscle contractile, protein and muscle contraction, a skeletal system and its function, to be dealt with the relevant practical and practical syllabus. Joints, disorder of muscular and skeletal system, myasthenia gravis, tetany, muscular dystrophy, arthritis, osteoporosis, gout, neutral control and coordination, neurons and nerves, nervous system of human, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and vascular nervous system, generation and conduction in nervous system, impulse, chemical coordination and regulation, endocrine glands and hormones, humans endocrine system, hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, thyroid, parathyroid, adrenal, pancreas, gonadal, mechanism of hormone action, elementary ideas, role of hormones as messenger and regulators, hypo and hypercreativity and relative disorder, common disorder, dwarfism, acromegaly, cretinism, goiter, exophthalmia, goiter, diabetes, addiction disease. Important disease and disorder mentioned above to be dealt in brief. Reproduction. Sexual reproduction in flowering plant, flower structure, development of male and female gametophytes, pollination types and genesis and examples, outbreeding devices, pollen pistil interaction, double fertilization, post-fertilization events, development of endosperm and embryo, development and seed formation of fruit, special modes of apomixy, partenocracy, polymorphy, significance of seed and fruit formation, human reproduction, male and female reproductive system. Class 12. Macroscopic anatomy of testis and ovary, gametogenesis, spermatogenesis, oogenesis, menstrual cycle, fertilization, embryo development up to blastocyte formation, implantation, pregnancy and placenta formation. Elementary idea, particularly elementary idea, lactation and elementary idea. Reproductive health, need for reproductive health and prevention of sexually transmitted disease, birth control, need and methods, contraception, ठीक है, and medical termination of pregnancy को रोकना है, contraception यूज करिए. Amniocentesis, infertility and assisted reproductive technology, ठीक है. इनफर्टिलिटी एंड असिस्टेड रिप्रोडक्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत सारे आ गए हैं. IVF आ गया है, जिप्ट आ गया है, गिफ्ट आ गया है. सो एंजॉय द लाइफ. एलिमेंट्री आइडिया ऑफ जनरल अवेयरनेस. जस्ट आप लोग को प्रैक्टिस करना स्टूडेंट, एंड व्हेन यू लाइक प्रैक्टिस यू स्टडी एंड यू मेक इट लाइक क्रैक इट. सो लेट्स क्रैक इट. Genetic and evolution, hereditary and variations, Mendelian inheritance, deviation from Mendelian, incomplete dominance, codominance, multiple alleles, and inheritance of blood, group pletropy, elementary idea, polygenic inheritance, chromosomes, theory of inheritance, chromosomes and genes, sex determination in humans, words, honey, bees, linkage and crossing over sex-linked inheritance, hemophilia, color blindness, Mendelian disorder in humans, thalassemia, chromosomal disorder in humans, Down syndrome, Turner's and Klinefelter syndromes. Molecular basis of inheritance, search for genetic material and DNA as genetic material, structure of DNA and RNA, DNA and packaging, DNA replication, central dogma, transcription, genetic codes, translation, genes expression and regulation, lack operation, genome and human genome, project DNA, fingerprinting, proteins, biosynthesis, evolution, origin of life, biological evolution and evidence for biological evolution from paleontology, comparative anatomy, embryology and molecular evidence, Darwin's contribution, modern synthetic theory of evolution, mechanism of evolution, variation, mutation, and recombination and natural selection with example types of natural selection, gene flow, genetic drift, Hardy-Wang principle, adaptive radiation, human evolution, biology and human welfare, health and disease, pathogens, parasite causing human disease, malaria, filariasis, ascariasis, thyroid, pneumonia, common cold, amoebiasis, ringworm, dengue, chikungunya. Basic concept of immunology, vaccine, cancer, HIV, AIDS, adolescent drug and alcohol abuse, tobacco abuse, microbes in human welfare in household, food processing, industrial production, sewage treatment, plant, energy generation as biocontrol agents and biofertilizers. So last two have to study and then the syllabus will complete. Let's enjoy the life, become doctor, serve the nation, serve the patient. देश की सुरक्षा ही रियल डेवलपमेंट आपका होगा. सो डेवलप द नेशन, कंट्रीब्यूट द नेशन. आप नेशन को बिल्ड करने में हेल्प करिए. गॉड ऑलवेज विथ यू. बायोटेक्नोलॉजी एंड इट्स एप्लीकेशन, प्रिंसिपल एंड प्रोसेस ऑफ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग, recombinant DNA technology, application of biotechnology in health, agriculture, human insulin and vaccine production, gene therapy, genetic modified organism, bt crops, transgenic animals, biosafety issue, biopiracy and patents, ecology and environment. ठीक है, बहुत सारे पेटेंट आप फाइल कर सकते हैं डिफरेंट मॉडिफिकेशन करके. Ecology and environment, organism and environment, population, interaction and mutualism, competition, predation, parasitism, population and attribute, growth, birth rate and death rate, age distribution, ecosystem, patterns, components, productivity and decomposition, energy flow, pyramids of number, biomass energy, biodiversity and its conservation, concept of biodiversity, pattern of biodiversity, importance of biodiversity, loss of biodiversity, biodiversity conservation, hotspot, endangered organism, extension, red data book. We have to study different species, biosphere, reserve, national park and sanctuaries, sacred groves. So all study. So read the syllabus n times till you get in the mind. Solve PYQ, solve model paper. और जो भी टाइम लिमिट है उसके अंदर कंप्लीट करिए, आपका इजी सिलेक्शन होगा. सो कल से हम लोग डेली टारगेट करके स्टडी स्टार्ट कर देंगे. मोर यू हैव टू स्टडी डेली टारगेट प्रिपरेशन. सो इन तीनों चीज़ों पे आपको फोकस करवाया जाएगा. सिलेबस ऑलरेडी सबका नीट जेई मेन एडवांस सबका हो गया है. अब आपको हर एक पॉइंट को हम लोग गाइडेंस प्रोवाइड करेंगे और आपका सिलेबस जो भी रहेगा एग्ज़ाम के पहले आपको हर एक चीज़ के बारे में बताया जाएगा. सो स्टूडेंट दोज हु वांट टू join paid classes will get the special attention, and those who are in like YouTube classes, so they will give the general attention. So this is all for the today. Let's meet in content building classes, and we will build your content and we will guide all your concept. This is all. Thank you.